I'm Heidi Lusler, and I own Berries and Flour Bakery and Harvest Goods. This is a cottage operation, and we are here in my home kitchen in Northwest Champaign. So I came at farming a little bit backwards. So usually people who are interested in cottage foods start their farm and then they go to cottage foods as a way to add value to their products. But I started my cottage food business first, and then because of the legislation for cottage food, and because I grow a lot of the products or the ingredients that I use in my products, then I started a farm. So what we grow on our farm are more native crops. I'm an ecologist by training, and so, and I grew up in Colorado, and I grew up with a mother who just hauled us around the mountains and we just ate whatever we found that was edible. And so I just kind of came at it with that background. So when we moved here, I first planted elderberries and pawpaws and a lot of the native crops because I know what those are and they're delicious, and I wanted to feed my family those foods. So when we became a farm, we, turned that into more of a kind of a native crop production. So that's what our farm grows. So that's perfect for my cottage business because we make a lot of products out of those native crops, trying to get those native crops back into our food options. So one of the things that I try to do with my cottage business is support other local farmers. So I've created a lot of relationships with some of the more production-oriented farmers, so I can get carrots and parsnips and raspberries and things that are more or agricultural products, if you will. So I can provide myself those more native crops, but then I can work with them in a more personal sense to provide those other kinds of crops. So one of the things that I've learned as a cottage operator is that it's essential to work with your county public health organization. And in doing so, I have figured out that there is one definite line between cottage food operation and non-cottage food operation. And for me, understanding that line really made every rule make some sense. So cottage operations are about feeding a person directly. So I say, here's my product, you are purchasing it, and one person purchases it from me. But public health and commercial kitchens and value added and retail and all the other stuff that requires a commercial kitchen and is not cottage is about feeding the public. So you have food that is just out and some random person takes that food and eats it. And they don't know who made it, and they don't know exactly who it came from. So as a cottage operator, I can feed a person, but I can't feed the public. So prior to 2022 January, being a cottage operation just meant that you use your primary home kitchen to make goods. After January 2022, there's a little bit more flexibility in where you can cook. You do still have to cook in your home and in an established kitchen.
Hello, my name is Jeff Hake with Funk's Grove Heritage Fruits and Grains. This is a farm that we've operated together since 2018 with my wife and her brother Jonathan. Katie and Jonathan are the sixth generation of the Funk family to be here in Funk's Grove making pure maple syrup. They've been in a commercial operation since 1891. And in 2000, I think it was 15, Katie and Jonathan started talking about possibly starting a new farming enterprise in Funk's Grove. They had an opportunity to get on a small bit of land that their folks owned, and they started figuring out how they could do that. Jonathan wanted to try his hand at growing some other crops in a manner that he was proud of, and Katie was interested in growing good, healthy food, and also possibly having a place to hold some of her yoga classes outdoors. Funk's Grove Heritage Fruits and Grains did its first test plots of winter wheat in 2018. That's also the year that I joined the farm business and we first started selling our products to the public. That's also the year that they built this commercial kitchen, which is where we are now. This is actually the commercial kitchen at the Funk's Grove Pure Maple Syrup Shop. They built this because they were getting basically grandfathered in by their food safety inspectors, and eventually those inspectors said, you need to build an actual licensed commercial kitchen. So they constructed that, but that also gave them additional opportunity to do a few new things. Not only to be doing all of their value adding of maple sugar, maple candy, all that kind of stuff in a licensed space, but also potentially do other things in here. So this is now where we do all of our product packing for our pancake mixes and our fruit leather, the sauces that we make, the seasoning that we make. We get to make it in here. What that means is that we don't have to be a cottage food operation because we have access to this licensed commercial space. So this is fully inspected. We have our ServSafe manager, food manager certificates, so we can all use this kitchen as much as we want. And so that's obviously an immense privilege because that means that we can access wholesale markets. We can sell all kinds of places because we're in this licensed inspected space. The opportunity that we have here at Funk's Grove Pure Maple Syrup is that this shop, in addition to having the kitchen, which is a huge opportunity, is that there's also just a built-in market here. So we're on historic Route 66. This is a destination for a lot of people to come here and buy Funk's Grove Pure Maple Syrup. That means that's an opportunity for us to then capture that market. Not only that, but it kind of helped decide what products we were going to start with. Obviously, when people think maple syrup, they think of pancakes. We grew wheat. We basically took a pancake recipe that we had made before, reverse engineered the recipe, and then turned it into a batch size that we could then make a product out of. I know that sounds like cheating, but that's how a lot of food products work. It's just 4 ingredients. It's our flour, the maple sugar that's made here, baking powder, and salt. And that was our initial product, and it was popular very quickly. We were actually able to replace a pancake mix that they were selling from elsewhere that was being sold at the shop and just put our product there instead. Which sounds mean, actually. It wasn't like a locally made product or anything. It was just a pancake mix from elsewhere. So then we got to make a very, very local pancake mix here. From there, we added a bunch of other products. We started making a muffin mix and a different kind of pancake mix, a Johnny cake mix that's using our heritage corn. And then we started making fruit leather. So taking the fruit that we were growing, combining it with maple syrup, and turning it into basically a healthy fruit roll-up. Our products are value-added, shelf-stable products, and that comes with some huge benefits for marketing because basically they are already preserved, not to a complete degree, but that means we can pack things in bulk by the case and sell them to larger markets that are farther away. And we don't have to be worried that they don't sell within a week, like we're dealing with fresh produce and things like that. So for instance, there's a farm in Chatsworth called Timber Feast Farm, and we can sell them cases of our products at a time, and then they resell it to whoever orders it off of their online store, 1 bag at a time. And that works really well for both parties. They get something that's great for their customers, and we get a bulk sale all at once. Value-added, shelf-stable products, if you're able to tap into a market like that, it's a great way to take fresh produce and fresh foods and make them into something that has a lot more value and makes your life a lot easier because you're not having to stress about how it's stored.
Hi, my name is Katie Bishop, and I am part of Prairie Earth Farm. We are in our pack shed where we wash and process and store vegetables for our customers. So Prairie Earth Farm is an organic vegetable farm, and we also grow organic corn and soybeans and wheat and oats and fruit and herbs. So we do a lot of everything here on our farm, and we sell our products at the farmers market through our community supported agriculture program and to our wholesale customers.